All right, so let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. You can have your feet hips width apart, knees hips width apart, shoulders aligned with the hips. And imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light, stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. And lengthen the spine. And then just bring your awareness to the crown and release any tension there. And just notice if there's any sensations. And then just go down through all the different parts of the face and just release, relax. And then relax the jaw, back of the tongue, the ears, back of the head, the neck. Allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. And notice the sensation of the air as you inhale and exhale. And then just notice the sounds in your environment. So there's something, there's a helicopter flying overhead here, which is an unusual sound for up here. So immediately my mind goes to it. It's out of context. And then allow your conscious mind to come back to the same place your body is. And then bring to mind all the people of your life. And these, there are some people we have these very, very deep and profound relationships with. It's almost uncanny how we kind of ran into that person. And then there's strangers. And then there's the ones we don't like so much. And just remember they all can change place at any time. And then think they're all equal. They all want to be happy and they all want to be free from suffering. And they all have this extraordinary capacity for Buddhahood. So think there is no negativity that can't be purified. So we're doing this practice for all sentient beings, even the bad ones. Because everything can be redeemed somehow. So we are working with our mind here. We create negativity with our mind, so equally we can create positivity. So think, sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of the future suffering that we ourselves will experience. We know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger and attachment and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we turn to Buddha Vajrasattva, who we see as a doctor rather than a higher power. And he's got these methods that we can use. He's got this medicine and these methods that we can use to heal ourselves. So we're going to rely upon him. This is the power of reliance. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head, facing the same way as you. You can also imagine this is your teacher, manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents a union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of someone you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and just have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering sometime down the track. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. And this arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body. And it fills you completely. and it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid, and this pours out of you and disappears into space. Not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita tita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita tita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita tita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita tita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita tita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita tita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita tita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And now is the purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space. Not one atom left. So imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita tita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita tita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita tita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Dira me bawa, Sutukaya me bawa, Sipokaya me bawa, Anarakta me bawa, Sawasidi me piyata sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama me Mutta Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya Satra Ahompe, and Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasafa Dina Patita, Dira me bawa, Sutukaya me bawa, Sipokaya me bawa, Anarakta me bawa, Sawasidi me piyata sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahompe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dina Mebawal Situkaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahompe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dina Mebawal Situkaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech, including yourself. And next is our mind, purifying our mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So just as just imagine you've walked into a pitch black room, you flick on that switch, and the moment the light is turned on, dispels the darkness. I mean, it sounds so simple, but this is what we're doing here with our mind. You just kind of imagine the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, and all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment, depression, aggression, anxiety, bitterness, and grudges, and jealousy, and, disappointments, all of these things instantly dispelled. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Situkaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Situkaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawa Situkaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Situkaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Situkaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Situkaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mebawal Situkaya Mebawal Sipokaya Mebawal Anarakta Mebawal Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe. So be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And think now there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time, imagine Vajrasattva sending light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida meboa, Situkaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa, Sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guruhum ha ho Bhagavan, Sawatata gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata aham pe, and Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida meboa, Situkaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa, Sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho Bhagavan Sawatata gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida meboa Situkaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa Sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho Bhagavan Sawatata gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida meboa Situkaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa Sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho Bhagavan Sawatata gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida meboa Situkaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa Sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho Bhagavan Sawatata gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida meboa Situkaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa Sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho Bhagavan Sawatata gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida meboa Situkaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa Sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho Bhagavan Sawatata gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata aham pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscuration to your own enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the fourth step in the purification process, and it's a really crucial one. And this is this determination to not harm with our body and our speech and our mind. And so without this, we're going to keep doing same old things over and over again. And this determination, this aspiration to not harm becomes like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions. It was like guardrails for us. And it's also not about simply harming others. It's also about not harming ourselves. And reminding ourselves of that beautiful list of all of our qualities. So rejoice your efforts coming here. And then also think about something that you might like to maybe work on between now and tomorrow. Could be a speech thing, could be a mind thing. Particularly if you have taken any vows, bodhisattva refuge, lay vows. It's always really good to bring them to mind. If you've sort of maybe, broken them or something. So if you make mental effort, put your mind to it. So think Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with our mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on emptiness. So you can think in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there just for a little while and think all phenomena are empty. They're just a bunch of dependent arisings that do not exist from their own side. Like that furniture you get from IKEA or Wayfair or wherever. It comes in a box. Then you have to get your neighbor to help you put it together. Because it's all in little bits and pieces. It doesn't look like it did on the internet. So then think, let's just dedicate all the positive energy we've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's just do our... Oh, here's that. Okay. Stages of awakening according to Illusions Net. This is the names of Manjushri. Or did we just do the best we can? And me as well. And forgive me for pronouncing anything incorrectly. And then about the Lord of Speech, he spoke these verses, which include 6 kingly mantras, which manifest from non-duality, which bear the quality of non-arising. A, I, U, I, E, Ao. O, Ao, A, Sito, Sri, Jana Murtir, Aham, Buddhanam, Triadava Varitnam, Om Bhadra, Tikshna, Dukkha, Cheda, Prajna, Jana Murtaye, Janakaya, Vagisava, Aparapachanaye, Te Nama. There we go. Got through it. So when I was at Rinpoche's house, we were reciting the Sutra of Golden Light, a chapter a day. And we would read it to Uma, who was Rinpoche's dog. She was very sick towards the end. And it was just so funny because we'd be sitting there reading to Uma, and then we'd be going, Om Prajna Paramiti, because we... And we would laugh at each other because it just sounded so ridiculous because the Sanskrit's really sounded a little bit difficult. But anyway, even after many years and months of reciting the Sutra of Golden Light, I still can't get those mantras perfectly. Anyway. Okay, everyone, lots of love. Thank you so much. Let's dedicate for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, and for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, which is being supported by these verses that we're doing each night. And just rejoice for that, because I think none of us probably going to do it by ourselves. I don't know if anyone here is doing it by themselves, but I'm not. So this is very helpful for me as well. And I just forget, I get busy. And then for the long lives of all of our own precious teachers. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much. Thanks for hosting, Michael. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Okay. Bye, everybody. Thank you.